In the unforgiving peaks of Afghanistan, where the mountains pierce the sky and temperatures plummet to a bone-chilling minus 63 degrees Celsius, life perseveres against all odds. The snow blankets the rugged terrain, painting a stark, endless white, while icy winds whip across the slopes, turning even the simplest task into an act of resilience. Yet, amidst this desolation, there exists a way of life that has endured for generations. The air is sharp and still, broken only by the occasional bleat of a goat or the distant howl of a windstorm. In this remote region, survival is not merely a daily effort. It is a testament to the strength and ingenuity of its people. Villages, sparsely scattered across the mountainous expanse, are built from stone and earth, huddling together for warmth and protection. The homes, modest yet sturdy, are a reflection of their inhabitants, resilient and unyielding. Here, a shepherd mother rises before dawn, her breath visible in the frosty air. She moves with purpose, bundled in layers of hand-woven wool, her face partially obscured by a scarf to shield it from the biting cold. Her hands are rough and calloused, a testament to years of labor in the harshest of conditions. Yet, there is a quiet determination in her movements, a rhythm honed by necessity. Her day begins with tending to her flock, a small herd of goats that are both her livelihood and her lifeline. These animals are more than just a source of food or trade. They are a symbol of survival in a land that offers little else. Each goat is cared for with meticulous attention, their well-being directly tied to her family's sustenance. As she leads them to graze on sparse patches of vegetation, she keeps a watchful eye on the horizon, scanning for any signs of an approaching storm. The cold here is unrelenting, sinking deep into the bones and sapping energy with every breath. Firewood, a precious commodity, is gathered sparingly, each piece carefully conserved to provide warmth and fuel for cooking. The shepherd mother knows the value of every resource in this environment where scarcity is the norm. She carries a small bundle of kindling, her steps deliberate as she navigates the uneven, snow-covered ground. Her village, though isolated, is a beacon of resilience. The people here have adapted to the extreme conditions through sheer will and ingenuity. They rely on one another, sharing knowledge, labor, and resources to endure the winter months. The shepherd mother is no exception. Her role within the community is vital, her skills passed down through generations. Today, her task is to prepare a meal for her family, a task that is as much about survival as it is about tradition. In these mountains, food is more than sustenance. It is a connection to culture and heritage. The recipe she intends to prepare is simple, yet deeply rooted in her identity: goat curry. This dish, rich in flavor and warmth, is a rare indulgence in a land where every meal is hard-earned. The preparation begins long before the first ingredient touches the pot. In the harsh cold, even gathering water requires effort. Snow is melted over a fire to provide the necessary liquid, while the ingredients, spices, preserved meat, and a handful of dried herbs, are carefully measured and set aside. Each item carries significance, a reminder of the resourcefulness required to thrive in this environment. The shepherd mother works methodically, her movements efficient and practiced. She knows that every moment counts when faced with the unpredictable nature of the mountains. A storm could roll in at any time, cutting off access to vital supplies or making outdoor tasks impossible. Her focus is unwavering as she prepares for the meal, her thoughts centered on her family and their shared struggle to endure. As the day progresses, the sun casts a pale glow over the landscape, offering no warmth but illuminating the beauty of this harsh world. The shepherd mother pauses briefly to survey her surroundings, her breath forming clouds in the crisp air. This is her life, a delicate balance between the forces of nature and her own unyielding will to survive. In this moment, she is a symbol of resilience, embodying the spirit of a people who have endured centuries of hardship. Her story, though simple, is a powerful reminder of the strength that lies within us all, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. The shepherd mother stands by her modest cooking area, where every element is a testament to adaptation and resourcefulness. The fire pit, built from stones gathered from the mountains, provides just enough warmth to battle the frigid air. The pot, weathered and blackened from years of use, rests above the glowing embers, a vital tool passed down through generations. She begins by gathering the ingredients, each one carefully preserved and cherished. From a small, tightly sealed container, she retrieves a portion of dried goat meat, the product of meticulous preparation during the warmer months. The meat is tough, but she knows it will soften and release its deep flavors as it simmers. Next, she takes out a bundle of spices wrapped in cloth, precious remnants of trade from distant villages. Turmeric, cumin, and chili powder are measured with precision, each pinch a balance of necessity and tradition. Snow is piled into a metal bowl and placed near the fire to melt, its transformation into water a quiet ritual of survival. As the snow begins to liquefy, she chops an onion, her knife moving swiftly despite the cold that stiffens her fingers. Garlic cloves, small but potent, are crushed and added to the mix. These simple ingredients, humble in nature, are the foundation of a dish that will bring warmth and comfort to her family. The fire flickers as she fans it, coaxing the flames to grow. The sound of crackling wood mixes with the low whistle of the wind, a melody of resilience in the silent mountains. She places the pot over the fire, adding a small amount of melted snow water to prevent the onions and garlic from sticking. As they hit the hot surface, the sizzle breaks the stillness, and the air fills with a fragrant aroma that momentarily overpowers the biting cold. She stirs with practiced ease, ensuring the ingredients cook evenly despite the uneven heat of the open flame. The spices follow, their vibrant colors standing out against the stark winter surroundings. The turmeric stains a mixture of golden yellow, while the cumin and chili powder deepen the aroma, creating a symphony of scents that evoke memories of warmer days and shared meals. Once the spices have bloomed in the heat, releasing their full flavor, she adds the goat meat. The pieces sizzle as they meet the hot mixture, their edges browning and caramelizing. She stirs with steady movements, ensuring every piece is coated in the fragrant blend. The transformation of raw ingredients into a nourishing dish begins, a process that demands both patience and attention. She pours more water into the pot, now fully melted from the snow, and watches as it mingles with the spices, creating a rich, vibrant broth. The liquid begins to bubble, and she adjusts the fire, adding just enough wood to maintain a steady simmer. In this environment, every piece of fuel is valuable, and she has learned to make it last, a skill honed through years of necessity. The goat curry simmers, the flavors melding together over time. The shepherd mother uses this waiting period to prepare a side of flatbread, kneading dough made from a modest store of flour. Her hands move rhythmically, each motion a blend of muscle memory and care. The bread is cooked on a hot stone placed near the fire, its surface puffing and browning as the heat transforms it into a warm, soft accompaniment to the curry. As the dish nears completion, she tastes the broth, her expression briefly softening as the familiar flavors meet her tongue. It is more than just food. It is a reminder of the ties that bind her to her ancestors, who relied on the same recipes to survive in this unforgiving land. The dish represents continuity, a thread of culture and tradition that endures despite the ever-present hardships. When the curry is ready, its rich aroma fills the air, a stark contrast to the cold, barren landscape outside. The shepherd mother lifts the pot carefully, her hands steady despite the weight of her labor. The goat curry, steaming and vibrant, is more than just a meal. It is a symbol of resilience and love, a testament to her ability to provide warmth and sustenance in the harshest of conditions. As the goat curry finishes cooking, the shepherd mother prepares to serve the meal, a moment of quiet satisfaction after the labor-intensive process. The steaming pot is placed in the center of the small, modest space where her family gathers. The cold air outside seeps through the walls, but within this shared space, the warmth of the fire and the aroma of the food create a fleeting sanctuary from the relentless winter. Her children, bundled in layers of worn clothing, sit patiently, their eyes bright with anticipation. For them, a dish like goat curry is more than nourishment. It is a rare comfort that breaks the monotony of their simple diet. The shepherd mother ladles the curry into bowls, careful to divide the portions equally. Each bowl, though modest in size, carries the weight of her effort and care. As they eat, there is a silence that speaks volumes. It is not the silence of absence, but one of reverence, a shared understanding of the significance of this moment. The warmth of the food spreads through their bodies, a contrast to the biting cold outside. Each bite is savored, the rich flavors of the curry a brief reprieve from the hardships of their daily lives. The shepherd mother watches her family, her expression a mix of exhaustion and quiet pride. Though her work is never-ending, moments like these are her reward. She does not speak of her struggles, but they are etched into her every action, her every decision. In this moment, she finds solace in knowing she has provided for her family, even in the face of the relentless challenges that surround them. As the meal continues, the children begin to talk, their voices rising above the crackle of the fire. They share stories and laughter, their joy a small yet powerful defiance against the harshness of their environment. The shepherd mother listens, her presence grounding the space, her quiet strength a pillar of stability for her family. The simple act of sharing a meal becomes a reminder of what they are fighting for, their connection to one another, their culture, and their shared determination to endure. The curry, made from ingredients that were carefully gathered and painstakingly prepared, is more than just sustenance. It is a link to their heritage, a way to preserve the traditions of their ancestors in a world that seems increasingly fragile. As the fire begins to die down, the family huddles closer, their shared warmth a defense against the encroaching cold. The shepherd mother collects the empty bowls, her movements slow but steady. She places the pot back on the fire, allowing the last remnants of the curry to simmer. Nothing is wasted here. Every drop, every scrap is valued, a reflection of the scarcity that defines their lives. The night deepens and the mountain winds grow louder, a constant reminder of the challenges they face. Yet within this small home, there is a resilience that cannot be diminished. The shepherd mother sits quietly, her hands resting in her lap as she gazes at the flickering flames. Her thoughts drift to the days ahead, to the endless tasks that await her. But for now, she allows herself this brief moment of stillness. In this moment, the harshness of the world outside fades, replaced by the warmth of the fire and the quiet strength of her family. The shepherd mother's story is not one of grand achievements or sweeping victories. It is a story of persistence, of finding beauty and meaning in the smallest acts of survival. It is a story of love expressed through labor, of tradition carried forward in the face of overwhelming odds. As the family prepares for the night, their spirits bolstered by the meal, the shepherd mother tends to the fire one last time. The embers glow faintly, their heat a reminder of her enduring efforts. She adjusts the blankets around her children, ensuring they are shielded from the cold. Her movements are gentle, deliberate, a reflection of the care that defines her every action. The mountains outside remain unchanged, their vastness a silent witness to her life. They do not bend to her will, nor do they offer her reprieve. Yet she remains steadfast, a figure of quiet defiance against the forces that seek to overwhelm her. The goat curry, simple yet profound, is a testament to her resilience, a symbol of her ability to create warmth and sustenance in a world that offers little in return. As she finally rests, the shepherd mother closes her eyes, her thoughts already turning to the dawn and the work it will bring. Her story is not just hers alone. It is the story of countless others who endure, who persist, and who find strength in the bonds of family and tradition. It is a story of survival, written not in grand gestures, but in the quiet, unyielding rhythm of daily life.